Anyway, let's watch North Korean defector comparing Ivy League campuses to living under the Kim Jong-un regime.
Now, as we have covered on this program night after night, far-left ideologies, they are infiltrating our educational system from grade school right through college. It's getting that bad, so bad, that even those who have fled from totalitarian regimes seeking freedom in America in search of freedom of thought, they're taking notice. An actual defector from North Korea.
Yeah, dude, the worst thing that Kim Jong-un ever did was issue trigger warnings before, like, talking about slavery.
Who attended the Ivy League institution known as Columbia University, is speaking out, telling FoxNews.com that climate inside Columbia reminds her of North Korea, citing themes like anti-Western sentiment, collective guilt, suffocating political correctness. For example, during orientation, she said she was scolded for saying that she enjoyed the works of acclaimed author Jane Austen and was told the books are racist, along with being subjected to what she saw as nonstop anti-American propaganda. Here to tell her story is North Korea defector Yomi Park, along with Fox News contributor Mike Huckabee.
Let's just get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. She's hot, okay? Just get it out of the way. I don't want you to fucking say it again for the rest of the... Yeah, okay. Just one time, okay? Done. We're done. We're no longer saying that going forward, okay? I know you're going to say it. Like, now we're gonna move on, and now I'm gonna dunk on her.
Yomi, I read the story. You're saying, so you grew up, and how many years you were in North Korea? What, 20 years? And you think the indoctrination in the United States at our Ivy League institution, Columbia, is as bad or worse as the propaganda, anti-American hate that you heard in North Korea?
So when I was in North Korea, first thing that I learned was...
Okay, here's my hot take. Are you ready for this? I think this person is secretly like a left book communist who always posts articles about how people are eating hamburgers in North Korea all the time. Okay? Why do I think this? Because this literally doesn't do what she thinks it does, or doesn't do what Fox News thinks it does, which is to say that, like, which is to make people believe that, like, Colombia is as horrible as, like, North Korea. All this does is make North Korea look good. Okay? It literally minimizes the experiences that people living under the brutal regime, the brutal Kim Jong-un regime, experience on a daily basis. So she is a based DPRK supporter secretly infiltrating the Western media. You underestimate the stupidity of the Fox News audience? I mean, that's true, but still.
That Americans were bastards. It was actually the one word. At school, when I was attending, they told me, actually, there's just math problem saying there are 4 American bastards. You killed 2 of them. Then how many American bastards left to kill? And as a
What the fuck, dude? Yo, North Korea is so... I don't even know if this is real or not, but I want it to be real. That's fucking hilarious, dude. She said we learned a math problem where there were 4 American bastards. If you killed 2, how many American bastards? It's probably real. No shot, dude. That's true, by the way. Several other defectors have said that. Okay. There is a robust economy for North Korean defectors that literally... I'm not saying that, like, existence in North Korea is fucking sweet, okay? It's not. It is absolutely not. But there is also an entire economy that revolves around North Korean defectors that, like, literally are just like, North Korea is a land where they shoot you and murder you for looking in the wrong direction, like, and they're constantly teaching children, like, Americans are bastards, which we are. Let's be real. Not gonna lie, I thought she was talking about Inglourious Bastard for a second.
At school, when I was attending, they told me, actually, there's just math problem saying there are 4 American bastards. You killed 2 of them. Then how many American bastards left to kill? And as a child in North Korea, you have to say 2 American bastards. And when I
So they're all just lying for money? What does that take? Wait, you mean to tell me that this fucking person is not literally grifting? Are you serious? You mean to tell me that the person who is currently comparing conditions in North Korean concentration camps to Ivy League educations, which is like such a convenient talking point for the Fox News audience, who wrote a book about her experiences, is not grifting for money as a defector? Are you fucking stupid? You might as well literally be brainwashed like the left book psychos who say that like everyone again who say that everyone in fucking North Korea eats burgers. It's no different. Okay? This person is literally a grifter. There are a lot of defectors that do this. You know, props to them. They escaped. And now they want to make money. And there is a massive audience of fucking idiots that are like, hell yeah, brother. In North Korea, you're right, brother. They're just fucking, you know, it's the worst place. They all want to kill us. They all want to murder us, brother. Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, we should glass North Korea. And this is all that this is to just like give people that fuel to feel that way. When in reality, they have nothing. Like, these people have nothing. The most significant impact on the North Korean citizens' lives does not come from the authoritarian regime, but instead the sanctions that are placed upon North Korea and their over-reliance on China to even have a fucking international footprint. Okay? Now, having said that, are they incredibly authoritarian? Abso-fucking-lutely. Is Kim Jong-un horrible? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are there concentration camps, gulags, prison labor? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay? I'm not denying that. That would be really stupid to deny that. Are the living conditions awful? Are the living conditions in North Korea awful? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do defectors routinely exaggerate in an effort to pander to Western audiences to make more money to sell their books? Also true. It doesn't take away from how fucking horrible North Korea is. But don't be a sucker, is what I'm saying. Don't be a sucker on the left side who says like, oh, I'm Jusha gang and North Korea is actually fucking sick. And don't be a sucker as like a normal American who like eats this shit up and goes, yo, oh my God. You're right.
I came to America, I fell in love with this country. This is such a wonderful country. I never been accepted more than this country was. And at Columbia University, literally every professor was saying that, you know, the problems that we have on today's world is because of white men. How they colonize Africa, Asia, right? That's how they mess up everything. And they are the one who needs to be blamed. And I couldn't.
Wait, is she saying this is North Korean education? Because if it is, it's literally true. So what the fuck? Are they just like, does North Korea have a better education than we do here in the United States? Like what?
Sitting in North Korea's classroom, or in America actually, I couldn't believe why people were hating their own people that much.
What is your overall thought then when you look at America today and you compare it with your life experience, which has been horrific, sold into sex slavery at one point in your life? You get to America, you're expecting this to be the land of the free, the home of the brave, and the land of freedom, and you get the exact same propaganda here.
It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, is that what they're doing in Colombia? Math problems around like murdering an American? If you murder 2 Americans out of 4 Americans, how many Americans are left? Is that what they're teaching in Colombia? Because that doesn't seem similar. One is ridiculous. The other is like just the truth about imperialism and colonialism. So I don't. Yeah. Being sold into sex slavery, learning about I don't know, the slave trade in Colombia. Who can say these things are different? I can't, because I wrote a book about it. And also now I'm making money in the conservative circuit. So same thing. Columbia University. Yes, I know it's Columbia University. Why did I say the country of Colombia? I mean Columbia University. I know. The way you say in Colombia made it sound like it. No. Columbia University. Shut the fuck up, chat.
I literally sold as a sexual slave, and I literally crossed the Gobi Desert to be free. And now I thought I landed in a country where I can say what I believed and have my, freedom to think. However, now I end up in a country I have to constantly...
I love watching Tankies debunk North Korea as an authoritarian shithole. I mean, it is literally an authoritarian shithole. If you were to say that North Korea has greatly improved the material conditions of its citizenry over the course of the past, like, 2 decades, 3 decades, then you're absolutely correct. This country had, like, no fucking electricity and nothing for the most part, and they've been able to do that over the course of the past 30 years, despite the fact that they have very little to work with. But beyond that, anyone that says that, North Korea is a great place to live, or that the country is not incredibly authoritarian to its own people, then, you're ridiculous.
Censoring my speech.
Not only that, though, the U.S. killed 1/3 of their people and leveled every single building above ground, man. I mean, yeah.
Because now, in the name of a safe place, Colombia was told us what we cannot talk about.
Yeah.
And
North Korea was better off than South Korea after the Korean War? Okay, you're ridiculous. It's like saying Western Germany was worse off than East Germany after... you're like denying the Marshall Plan in its existence when you say shit like that. That is literally a psychotic take. Okay? Because, like, when you get powered by the international capitalist countries, when you get an insane amount of fucking funds pumped into your country, you are always going to have a better circumstance than the other side. Like, just recognize it for what it is instead of like saying ridiculous shit.
I am so concerned, like, if America is not free, I think there's no place else is left that is free. And I think that's why it's really alarming to me.
Listening, Governor...
Oh, you're talking about the South Korean fascist dictatorship. But it doesn't matter because ultimately they were still getting fucking funds funneled into South Korea. That's why South Korea is where it's at currently and North Korea is where it's at now. If you compare South Korea with under like a dictatorship to North Korea that was leveled into the fucking ground with like half of the people dead as a consequence of like endless bombing campaigns, you're still stupid.
To Ms. Park, sometimes when you're in the middle of what I call incrementalism, step by step, we now know what cancel culture is, woke America is. We now know what what's politically incorrect.
Hold on,
and then to hear this, it doesn't really shock me, but hearing it still shocks me, if that makes any sense.
Well, it makes a whole lot of sense. I'll tell you what would make a lot of sense. Why don't you and I get her a tour bus, and we'll pay for it, Sean, you and me, and we will send her to every college campus in America and let this remarkable young woman speak and tell her story and let people know that what they're giving up in this country, they're giving away something that they can never get back. And I'm so proud of her. You have no idea how grateful I am for the courage and the clarity of Yeonmi's story. And I just want to tell her there are a lot of us who love America, who still believe in freedom, and we believe in you. And we're grateful that you're here, and your message is one that I hope every single American will hear. I know some of them won't. Those people that you were taught to believe were the American bastards, well, they probably won't care. But all of us are not like that. We really aren't.
You should read some of Mike's books about Southern sayings. Remember Alexander Solzhenitsyn? I remember the speech. I believe, if my memory serves me right, he gave it at Harvard. And here's a guy from former Soviet Union saying, "You're getting bad here too, and here's what you're doing wrong." Would you consider this trip, this bus trip that Governor Huckabee's talking about? Would you consider talking to college campuses? Although I've got to warn you, you probably would be protested and they try to cancel you and shut you down, because that happens as a conservative. I can tell you every conservative I know lives through that experience. Would you consider that, though?
So, oh, yeah, I mean,
which is literally the same as living under Kim Jong-un's dictatorship, okay? Like, I'm sorry, dude, but you can't simultaneously maintain the position that, like, North Korea is the worst place on earth with a brutal dictatorship while also comparing it to, like, you can't literally be like, oh, they're sending my family to the fucking labor camp because I said Kim Jong-un has a fat pussy, and then turn around and be like, this is exactly the same as my college professor saying that, you know, slavery happened. What the fuck?
My used to be enemy was Kim Jong-un. I mean, I have been on the killing list of Kim Jong-un for many years because I spoke out in the West about the suffering of North Korean people. My 3 generations of family got punished. But now, it's ironically enough, so many Marxists and communists, Maoists, Leninists, and sending me death threats. And
Maoists, dude. Yeah, the Iowa Maoists.
And this is such a irony that I don't even know how to respond. That this is a war that against socialism and communism. The fact that I come from North Korea and saying, you know, North Korea started as a communist country. It began as, you know, let's make it the most equal society in the world. Now the regime made 50 different classes based on your status, based on what your great-great-grandfather did. And when I went to Colombia, that's when I shocked. They say, because your ancestors owned the slaves, that you must be guilty. You are privileged because you're white. And this is injustice because you can never choose your ancestors. You don't choose your race.
Yeah. Me getting death threats from conservatives is the exact same to being put in a fucking labor camp in North Korea. I get death threats too. I guess, like, now I know what it's like to be in a fucking death camp, dude. Or in a labor camp. Sorry. I'm in New Hampshire, bro. Thanks for recognizing supporters of the great Chairman Mao. Xi is just a puppet for eternal Chairman Mao.
And people in North Korea being punished for, you know, certain class. And in this America, the same thing happening right now.
Wait. Base. She's saying America is similar to North Korea because of the unequal class position and the inherent contradictions not being addressed amongst the owner class and the working class.